Hi, welcome to the channel today. And today we're just going to walk over and talk about the far north side of the garden where I planted the corn and the beans and some squash and some cantaloupes. Show how they're doing and let me turn you around. And one thing people have asked also is about, do I plant flowers in my garden? And no, I don't. It's a good idea, but if you look over here, it's just outside of the garden in a pasture, and it really don't show up. Let me zoom you in a little bit. That zooms you out. There you go. Little buttercups there. They are all over my pasture. And different weeds at different times will come into the pasture and bloom or whatever. So I really don't have a need for pollinators. And there's my horse. Now the buttercups, those flowers are actually poisonous to horses. That's not necessarily good. So I may mow them down, but that's a lot of mowing too. I got the wild dewberries there that need to be mowed down, just because I'll never get any berries from them because the chickens will always eat them, 2 or 3 days before they're ripe. There's Vinny eating right beside the fence. And of course, there's a horse. He wants to stick his head over the fence because there's got to be better grass over here than it is on his side of the fence. But so he's not happy about that. But so I did put that panel up, not to actually keep him out, just I didn't want to keep where I couldn't mow, because I was going to mow, and I thought, well, I can do a video instead. So, but anyway, getting back to what we was talking about, and I have mowed this earlier, but it's growing back up. This is the corn, flower corn that I'm growing. It's looking okay. The rain did help it a lot. Now the 2 rows over there are kind of puny, but it's also close to those trees. I don't want to put a lot of fertilizer because that is a pear tree, and pear trees, if you put a lot of fertilizer on them, it makes fire blight worse. I did plant the other part, the other corn, the hickory king corn, and it's just now starting to come up. See that little piece there, and there's one's a little bit bigger right here, so it's enough to bring it up. We still got the problem with the mole crickets, but they're not as bad. But I'm hoping over the next few days that corn will finish coming up and be all right. So, and like I say, here's where that corn's a lot punier. There it is over here. I've also got some weeds growing really good out there. Like crabgrass just really takes off sometimes. But they both like, crabgrass and corn both likes a lot of nitrogen. So if you got Bermuda grass growing in your garden and it's doing really well, just always remember that Bermuda grass loves fertile soil, so that means you got good soil. This is the ones, well, that one was I transplanted, and then those there I transplanted, and I got my first little 8 ball right there. And these are male flowers here because they don't have the fruit behind it, and that's the female flower. So hopefully it pollinated. It looks like it did. So that'll be the first one of the year. These are a little bit slower. There's a Bermuda grass there. They're doing really good. I have to pull that sprig up. And like I said, these are all 8 balls. That there is the scallop squash, the moonbeam, I believe it was. And that one row that I could not decide what I was going to plant on it, I actually planted the cantaloupes, and there's the cantaloupes there. And I planted every other plant because I had 2 varieties, and I wasn't sure about the seeds, so it had to be later if I can try to figure out which ones is which. But they came up decent. That'll make a stand. There is where I planted my lima beans. Now, they were store-bought lima beans that I got from the store. Look really pretty. I also had the store-bought cranberry beans, which is a kind of improved pintos. And these 2 rows. Yeah, not a good germination. There's one coming up there. That one's come up earlier. You're seeing a few that might come up. I mean, that right there looks like it's breaking crust. One beside it. But then you got a big one there. He came up earlier. Don't know if they just didn't get enough. May not have been enough moisture, but they should have been. I mean, I planted the cantaloupes later, and they came up. But the pinto beans just decided not to come up. I am going to give it another 2 or 3 days. According to what we do this weekend, if it is not done by well, today's Thursday, I give it tomorrow, and according to what we do, I may buy some more seeds Monday, or I'll buy some seeds Saturday if I can get to the feed store in time before they close. But anyway, that's that area there. Got the peach trees. Still got some little peaches on it. I'm going to have to deal with some squirrels. They got some of my really nice peaches up by the house. This peach tree here doesn't have hardly any on it. You know, it had these small ones like that, and they died probably through the freeze. Yeah, because see, it's got a pretty good size over here. And that's probably just freeze damage. Got the other part of the garden there. I haven't really checked on it that much. They do got a few big ones, and then you got one that's dead. So, but that does stand for you. And that one there is still alive, but something is, well, something is eating on it pretty bad. Oh, and then there's the bugs that are eating on them. I hate those things. If anybody's concerned about it, they flew off. So, and that's the frustrating thing around here about peaches. It's just getting that good crop. This did produce a good crop one year. This one is a loring, I believe, and it's never going to produce a whole lot. But this year it didn't produce any. And I got to clean up around the base and stuff. But I had some decent pruning on it. And then there's the Asian pears just now coming out. And there's another Asian pear. And then these are European pears. And they've already made pretty good sized little fruit growing there. So it's, now, the problem with these pears right here is the deer like them, and the deer comes from that area right there. They'll come up through those woods. That fence ain't gonna stop them. I mean, they can jump over a 6-foot fence. But anyway, and I guess I'll go ahead and show you the figs that came up, started growing from the roots. It's doing good. You know, it died back through freeze damage, and this one here didn't. So probably gonna plant another fig tree here. I'm going to do a video on that. And just so we can keep the bean part, you know, I talked about the beans not doing well over here. They finally went ahead and came up and are looking nice now. So I'll get a stand. You know, it's got a few gaps in it, but that's not bad. It does need to be weeded. I do show this because a lot of people think that, you know, you got to keep a garden completely clean. You do need to keep it. You don't want to get any bigger than this. I need to do two things. I need to weed this, and I needed to mow. I didn't really do either one, but I already got tomorrow. It's a good thing when you're retired, you don't have to do something that day. And I did go up here and work on some of the other tomatoes and things. We do need a rain because look at the things look kind of droopy. I'm going to try to do a taste test. I do have to one. If nothing steals it, I got a loquat on the Barbie loquat. It's the only one that made this year. The stuff that's in ground. Unless this one over here. And if you ask how old these are, that's a gold nugget. That tree is less than 7 years old, probably 6 years old. And it started off in a container for probably a year or so, and then I planted it out here. So that's how big they get. I know I've heard different people talk about, you know, how long should take them to fruit. To actually set fruit, not necessarily make fruit because they can freeze off real easy. Before it sets its first fruit, I've done it in a couple of years. The golden nugget I think took maybe 3 years. The Barbies took 2 years. So it wasn't a long time. Some people have said 10 years. I think that's if you're going to seed one. I could see it taking 10 years, especially they do not seem, because this one, you know, is way bigger. My wife will get on to me. Homeschool your kids, you don't want to say way bigger, but it's gotten a lot bigger because we don't have any other big trees around here. They don't really like to compete against trees, I don't think. I know the mayhaws are that way. They don't compete against other trees. They actually grow in wet areas because other trees can't grow there, and they can. But they like to grow in upland, but if you put them around trees, they don't make it and they'll end up dying on you. So I think that's some of that maybe too. That if you put it in the yard with some of the big trees, it's going to slow down the growth and again, not give you fruit. But it shouldn't take 10 years, you know, unless you got some really big trees around and you're going to start it from seed. You know, I would get something besides the Go Nugget if I could, if you can find a nursery. I know I got some from JRN Nursery. In fact, well, I'm not sure. The Yehuda that I got in the pot came from JRN Nursery, I know. Now, I ordered some off online. I know the Barbie I got online. I don't even remember which one, but anyway. And then I guess I'll finish up on the trees here. This is another one of the Asian pears. It's a little further along than the other ones. And then I've not made up my decision which tree I'm going to take out because this is a plum tree. And I'm just going to have one of them grow. This is a Sam Houston peach tree. And it's done made crops before. There's one, I don't know if you can see it or not, one right there that might make, you know, a lot of times you don't always see them, so I'm hoping we get half a dozen, but we may only get 2. May not get any if squirrels keep coming up. And then, of course, I got the big monster improved Chickasaw growing there. I'll do an update on the tomatoes probably Sunday. I'm just going to try to keep them about a week apart so you kind of see the progress on them. Thought about it today, but didn't realize I've done one like 4 days ago, so I didn't want to do one too much. But anyway, my dog, I can't let in here or he'll start wanting to mark everything. And everybody always talks about how big and bad Dobermans are, and some of them are, but he's just a little puppy dog, about 7 years old. But he wants to be around you all the time, but yet he wants you to run everywhere and not pay attention to what he's doing. And yeah, that thing needs to be mowed really bad. I was letting the horse in here to eat it down, but then I had the problem of if I let the horse in there one of these times, she's going to turn that fruit tree and start eating the pears off of, peaches off of it. Because one day somebody left the gate open, and we had a bunch of pears that peaches almost ripe, and he ate every one of them he could get to. My kids couldn't figure out how come I wasn't really upset because somebody left the gate open. But then when I got to thinking about, you know, who might have left the gate open, I thought it might have been me. So I don't like making big scenes if it's my fault. And I'm trying not to make big scenes anyway. But my kids think I get upset about things way quicker than what I actually do, especially when it comes to gardening. Because I know gardening, you're going to mess up, things can happen, trees are going to get broken. Well, that dog over there, the deer was coming in here, and I could let her in where he's at now, but it has some small fig trees, and he pulled the fig trees up out of the ground. Why? I don't know. He decided to do that. Saw a stick, and so I had to lock him out of there because he was doing more damage than the deer was. But now I let him back in. I'm hoping he'll chase them off from getting in here. But at night, he sleeps, and I have caught deer right. I mean, I walked up almost where he's at, and the deer was standing right there. And yeah, and I'm not a hunter, so no, I didn't shoot him. And you can't even shoot him with a BB gun. That's actually illegal too. So that's why I have the different stuff. And I come out here sometimes at night, and you know, at 2 or 3 o'clock at night, and you see them, and you I do have one of those foghorn, you know, boat alarms, and I'll blast that thing off at him. They don't like that. Neighbors hadn't complained, so I guess it's okay. You know, you're in the country. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.